It's a nice summer's cold day out here. Perfect to actually make a video. It's just a little bit of wind. I don't hope it's going to disturb you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a time frame over here on the screen where I'm going to start installing it. And for the people that likes drama stories and scary stories, you can stay here quick. Let me tell you what happened to the car, and it was really scary. The other day, I parked here in the driveway, there in the back. The Ford was in the front. What happened was I actually backed out and I saw like two patches of wetness on the floor. I went to go and feel it, and it's wet and it's oily. And I was like, okay, do I have an engine oil leak now? I look at it and I'm like, no, this oil is clean. I mean, engine oil is always dirty, you know, like black and all that kind of stuff. This is clean. And I'm like, oh gosh, differentials or gearbox and transfer case. I was just like, for some reason, it just sit by me. It's the gearbox. In stress, I went and I drove and just stressed out. Car is shifting okay. I'm just like so darn worried. I come back, I got the car on the ramps like now, and I said, okay, let me have a look. And I can't see any damages. I can't see anything going over the gearbox, like a pipe that might be leaking, but the gearbox was wet. So when I opened the bonnet, I just like took that cover off, that plastic cover over there. Then I looked on the gearbox and I could see it's wet. Like, oh gosh, this is not good at all. This is really not good. I went and said to myself, okay, let me clean it. I went to go get one of those spray bottles with some degreaser. I sprayed on the gearbox. I cleaned it up. I went underneath the car. I sprayed. I cleared it up. For about 2 days, it was quiet, right? So we went to the racing. We came back and I checked. And before we went to the racing, I was like, I saw something. I'm not going to tell you guys yet what it is because everything's going to make sense real soon. Went to the racing, came back, and there was no leak under the car. Everything was good. After 2 days, sorry for that bit of wind. After 2 days, there is a patches on the floor again. I was like, I can't, guys, I can't. I need to get this car back on the ramps, and then what I do is I jack the back up so the car is level. So I said to myself, okay, now I'm gonna check the gearbox oil level to make sure it's fine. So the car has to be leveled. The gearbox temp needs to be around 40 degrees, and then you remove that full cap, and then as soon as you remove the full cap and oil comes out, you know you've got enough oil in it. But if you remove the full cap and no oil comes out, it means you have to add oil, which means that this is a gearbox leak indeed. Got the car up, got everything right, removed that screw, and guess what? Oil came out. Oh, what a relief. I was like, these gearboxes, if you guys don't know, is very expensive, very difficult to expensive and difficult to work on and all that kind of stuff. Once they start giving problems, they give problems, and it's not cheap. So anyway, then I like, thank goodness, and I just like topped up a little bit of more oil because obviously some oil came out. Put the screw quickly back, tighten it, everything is good. I was like, so what is causing it? And then I was just like underneath the car, just looking around, and I saw like here's 2 drops, and I just kind of like looked on it because on the floor, the color I could see it was clear, and the gearbox oil is clear. But as soon as it was like underneath on the transmission, like as it's just like kind of dripping down, I saw that it's red. The only other thing red in this car is the coolant level. I was like, please tell me it's the coolant level. I know it sounds so stupid, but I'd rather have a coolant leak than a gearbox oil leak. So I went in to go check my water level, and indeed it did drop. And that was one of the other things that I saw. Before I went to the racing, I also kind of like topped up with the water a little bit. I just saw like it was not even a centimeter, just like half a centimeter below the max. And I know I always keep it on the max as a reference point. And so it was a little bit below. I was like, okay, maybe took a corner, some came out of the overflow, whatever the case is, just top it up. Never thought anything of it, but when I went there now, after I saw that it was red, I thought, thank goodness I had a coolant leak. Okay, so I know the engine bay is a bit dirty, and I did check. There was no water this time on the gearbox. I should have taken a photo, but do you guys see there's like a little bit of a white residue that kind of like came out recently? I think you can see more white residue from this side. Trying to see, there is a little bit of the wetness, as you guys can see it. So it was very difficult to actually track the root cause, and I don't know why, but it was like this was almost like planned out or something. I recently bought myself this kit over here. So if we quickly open this kit, do you guys know what this is? This is a coolant tank, whatever, reservoir pressurized system to see if you can find any leaks. So you basically use this handheld pump, and then it's got like this part over here. This part connects into one of these caps. So basically I think it's this cap if I'm not mistaken. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come and remove your cap, and then let's quickly I'll actually make a video explaining guys how to exactly use this. But anyway, you'll go and take one of those caps, you'll turn it in, and then take this clip, which actually like kind of clips in at the back, and then you're just going to pressurize it, keep it on a certain bar, and then just find any leaks. So I did it, and I couldn't find any leaks, but yet the gearbox kept on getting wet. So my theory was, the reason why I was so scared about this entire story was, I know you guys can't see the gearbox, but the backside, also do this because this pipe is rubbing against underneath of the cover and it was starting to hurt it, so I made a plan. So ignore that. So anyway, at the back of the gearbox was wet, but in the front part, it wasn't wet. So that's why I thought initially I had a gearbox leak. After knowing that it was a coolant leak, it kind of made sense because the engine over here generates a lot of heat, and that heat kind of like dries up the first part, and then at the back it remains wet because it's too far away from the engine, which is obviously the heat source. So I knew that the coolant leak is coming here from the back. So out of experience, my one friend also told me that. Let me just put this lid on over here. So my one friend did tell me there's this pipe over here. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it quick. There we go. Okay, so just gonna zoom out a bit. So here's your high pressure fuel pump. If you just go out and look, so this plug over here is a plug that usually goes bad. And then you'll see it will start getting like white marks and all that kind of stuff on it. So that's definitely something to look out for. But in my case, it was not that one. With my case, it is this one over here. So you guys can even see over here, like, it looks a bit dirty and all that kind of stuff, a little bit of whiteness onto it. So I believe on one of the parts on the sides, once we remove it, I'll actually show you guys, it's leaking over there. So anyway, what we're going to do to replace that part is we actually got to drain the coolant out of the system. If I have to go and unplug that now, all the water is just going to come out, which there might still be a little bit of coolant coming out of it. So we're gonna go underneath the car, loosen the scrap, got my bucket to fill it up because I'm gonna reuse the water. So I literally washed the bucket out of soap, and then once we got all the water out of the system, then we can go ahead and loosen that, they call it a heater valve. Okay, so here's the intercooler, here's the oil pan. Over here you're gonna find your water pipe, and on the water pipe is got like this kind of lever over here. So what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna take some pliers, you're gonna go and grip it and then like kind of wiggle it and bring it down until water starts spraying out over here. Just make sure your coolant cap is off, then you'll get like a proper stream coming out instead of just like sucking and struggling to get all the coolant out. Okay, so I'm gonna open this stream a bit more now, but just to show you guys, it's spraying out there, so you can see I turn it kind of a little bit out and then going straight here into the bucket, sorry. So this is how far we have gotten. Looks like the drip actually kind of stopped. I did spill a bit. I heard there was coffee ready, and I never moved the bucket properly in place. So anyway, even though the car is on obviously like an incline, a lot of fluid is still in, but towards the back side of it. So obviously as soon as the car has to go lower, more fluid will come out. So the reason why I'm telling you guys that is because I'm too short to actually get all the way to the back there to the heater core, heater valve, whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the plug and then push the car actually off. Those birds are having a good time. And then push the car off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change it at this state, like literally for me just to touch it, like that's like I'm stretching just to touch it. That's not even replacing it. So anyway, I have to push the car down. I'm gonna close that. So obviously once you remove the heater core, there might be some coolant still coming out. Unfortunately, you might lose a bit of coolant there on the floor. I'm not gonna really put anything underneath it to try and catch it. It's fine. We'll just top up with some distilled water for now. I think I do still actually have some coolant left. But anyway, okay, let's go ahead, close it and push the car off. So here is the heater core. Actually really simple to install a heater core, the heater valve. Anyway, so you just put the one pipe over here, the other pipe over there, and then the vacuum hose over there. Not really a difficult install, just the space is a little bit limited, but I think there is much more worse things than this. I gotta clean that cover. Anyway, so for this, I've got a long nose plier and also have this specific one for these kind of clips. So I'll see which one's gonna work the best for me. So let's quickly head to the car. Okay, so there it is. So just to show you, there is where you're gonna make a loose on that side. You're gonna make a loose on that side, and there is the vacuum hose following it. So it's basically just getting all of this off. Hopefully, at this part, these lines are gonna be empty. Well, that feels like there's nothing in it, but anyway, there might be some fluid coming out, but it won't be a complete train smash. So trying to get you guys the proper footage is gonna be very difficult, but I'm gonna try my best. So I'm gonna start here with this vacuum line at the bottom. Let's see, there it is. I'm just gonna like basically pull it back. So it doesn't have a clip, so it should come right off. Should. Just wanna see, oh, well, it's almost off. There we go, so I got it off. There's the vacuum hose. That was a little bit of a struggle. So anyway, now I'm gonna quickly, there we go, just got rid of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to loosen these ones over here. So the space is really limited. I'm gonna try my best. Where the phone is where my hand basically has to go in. Okay, so as you guys can see, I've got both clamps off. I just hope I put this one far enough out. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull, this does want to focus. There we go, pull them both out, and already I can see there's some water coming out over there, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's try to get it out quick. Okay, so here is the new one, here is the old one. They do feel the same weight. This one actually feels a little bit heavier. And this one still has like some coolant left, well not a lot though, but anyway, so I'm not sure exactly where it was leaking from, but I kept on feeling like it's wet in this area when I was trying to like fault find it. Also, just look at that. Wow, like what a difference. That is crazy. That is a massive difference. Even when we like removed it, the first little bit of drops that came out was like dirty water. So anyway, yeah, here's the old one. So now we gotta rinse and repeat and get this new one in. Alright, and it is in. So actually not too much of a difficult install. The difficult part is going to be filling up the coolant system now because, yeah, one big bucket. Okay, so we are back and yeah, coolant is very high. I actually threw in all of that entire bucket, and obviously I spilled some on the floor, so I know it is gonna drop. So I got my distilled water ready to top it up. So what I wanted to say is now that we have got coolant back in the system, and also as I poured it, I just made sure that there was obviously here when I removed the plug, I'm not removed it, just loosened it, that there was no coolant leaking, even here at the back. As you guys can see, everything's still nice and dry. So there won't really be water in this as yet, but once you start your car, you just want to come back here and just make sure there's no water leaking. The reason is obviously, yeah, this is like a very high part, so the water might be in the area, and once you turn on the heater core, the what do you call it, like the water will start circulating through it and all that kind of stuff. So just make sure when you do start the car, put your heater on, and then obviously just come to the front and inspect for any visual leaks, and then also make sure you keep on topping up this bottle over here. Okay, so car is started up, temperature is on high. Let's quickly go over here to the front. So like I mentioned, the coolant level is gonna drop. Hasn't dropped as yet. Let's look. Currently no leaks at all. I don't know if you guys even heard that. Currently no leaks at all. I've got my bottle ready over here just to top up. Hopefully you guys can see, but the water is at maximum now. No, I did not top it up. It is still gonna drop even more. Okay, so I'm quickly in the car, just taking a little bit of a test drive, getting the whole car to shake a bit and get all of those air bubbles out. So once I get home, I just got to top up a little bit of the coolant again. Obviously, just keep the car off for a little bit. You know, you just want the temperatures to drop so that when you open the lid, it just doesn't spray out all over. So anyway, I've got the heater on and it is making nice and warm. I actually got a bit stressed that it's not working because I left my car to idle. It was like almost like on temp, but still didn't heat up. So I was like, oh crap, this new one is faulty. That means I have to take it out, put the other one back in, do a whole drain all the coolant again, all rinse and repeat. So anyway, the heater is going good. Everything seems to be fine. So now it's just obviously going to take some time to see, did I really find a leak? Was it that part that caused the leak? Before I forget, let me actually go and open that part. Now that I know everything is working, and I'm going to have to see if there's a leak. If there's no leak, whatever the case is, then I can go ahead and destroy that one. Then we don't care at all. Okay, so a quick look at it. It looks like you lift it up and then you press it out. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with one hand though. Let me quickly see. Should be. Feels like I'm winning. Ah, there we go. That just shot off. So, oh. Okay, so it receives here. So I wonder what happens if I... Oh, damn, son. So this is how it works. When the car is idling, it sucks, I suppose, and then obviously like it opens. Okay, that makes 100% sense now. So I wonder if there's not like an O-ring here or something, like maybe over there, that has like started to fail by the looks of it. Sorry guys, I'm shaking, but I haven't eaten yet. So yeah, it looks like it might have started to fail over there, because if you look at the color on the inside and you look at the color over there, so it shows me that the coolant was starting to push through there. So but this part doesn't look too bad. So like I told you guys, I found this leak very early, but yeah, I think most certainly that is where it's leaking. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope it was useful, entertaining, and all that kind of stuff. But I'll see all of you legends in my next one.